We are in chapter 18, verse 44. We are talking about the categorization of one's duties in the society. Brahmana and Kshatriya were the last two verses. Today's verse takes both Vaishya and Shudra and defines them together. Farming, animal husbandry like poultry and cattle, and commerce are the duties of Vaishyas. And service in support of all other professions. Done according to instructions are the Shudras. So, in other words, the profession of Shudras is taking instructions and performing the duties. It relieves them of having to think about what might be the right thing to do, what might be the wrong thing to do. For instance, a coal miner working in a coal mine follows exactly what is being told to him or her, because his or her survival depends on it. A mechanic in an automobile industry follows the manual to a T. Once again, his safety depends on that. So that's why the emphasis in the verse that support service done according to instructions. Same thing for the Vaishyas. A farmer, they stick to farming. They are the ones who raise dairy and international commerce and so on and so forth. Every profession is extremely important for a community to thrive harmoniously. There is no question about that. A coal miner in a coal mining town usually comes from a coal mining family. His father, his grandfather would have been a coal miner. It is also the case in a place like Flint, Michigan, where the automobile industry has been employing the community for almost 120 years now. Once again, the tradition is passed from generation to another. The towns have schools, so there are teachers in the town. So there is a possibility that a coal miner's daughter becomes a singer or a teacher. Singing or teaching are completely different from being a Vaishya or a Shudra in this case. Going to teaching and then following that tradition may be a Brahmin tradition. She's singing is a Vaishya tradition because it's a business. Although someone, an amateur singer who picks up the profession of singing, just to advance that culture or transmit that culture and maybe come up with some new ragas might fall into the category of a Brahmin. A coal miner's son may marry a teacher and bring up a child who turns out to be a big businessman. Or a soldier might come back from a war and take up law. A retired professor may take up gardening. It's a sort of farming, even though it's for hobby. So, in the modern society, there is that fluidity. There is no rigid adherence to a caste. So the caste system completely is a misconception of categorization of these duties. That's my take on verse 44.